Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions regarding this watch. Today, we're discussing a launch from Zenith for 2025. This is the Defy Extreme Diver Shadow, part of a collection of two different watches, one modern, one vintage, nicknamed Shadow for the use of media blasted blackened titanium. So this is the Defy Extreme Diver. It's a modern dive watch that takes some styling cues from the 1969 A3648, but this is a modern watch, so it serves that purpose. It's not simply a retro piece, but it also serves the purpose of proving that Zenith is a full-line watchmaker. It doesn't want to become like Audemars Piguet or Blancpain, a prisoner of its most popular product. Blancpain, people think of dive watches in the 50 fathoms, but not enough about Blancpain craft art watches and dress complications. Audemars Piguet, 95% of their turnover is the Royal Oak or the offshore. Zenith doesn't want to be thought of as just a chronograph company, so they decided that you can have an El Primero movement, 36,000 vibrations per hour, without the chronograph, and that's what we've got here. Easy to wear, 42.5 millimeters in diameter, 15.6 millimeters thick, but from lug to lug, nice and compact, almost a lugless watch, only 47.4 millimeters. So being mostly sapphire titanium and short across the wrist, it wears beautifully for an almost 43 millimeter dive watch. You can see that the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. Down the barrel is always the definitive shot. I'm doing well in that regard. Over the top, which always exaggerates the width of the watch, the lugs are still inboard of the edge of my wrist. And, well, it's not thick, but it's not thin. Let's say jacket cuffs are fine. Maybe the tightest of dress shirts won't quite clear it. And the further away from my wrist you move, the more you realize this really does fit quite well. So let's say this will fit on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. About the strap, first, there's a quick release system. It works like a car seat belt buckle. You just push the button, it pops right out. The watch comes with two straps. This one has a Codura style molded textile pattern on the top, but it's rubber. It's rubber on both sides. The other strap is an electric yellow fluoro textile that is woven mesh strap. And then it also comes with a full bracelet in titanium to match the case. So this is a very well-equipped watch. It comes with 3 different bands, 2 straps, and a bracelet. Stick that right back in there. Easy to do. It's like a car seatbelt buckle. The watch is interesting. The Defy case gets misidentified as some sort of a hand-me-down from Hublot or a hand-me-up from Tag Heuer, as those are the other 2 brands in the LVMH watch group. But the reality is that this Defy case shape was already around at least as early as 1969. And so the form as a Zenith predates either of the other 2 brands using anything like this. You can also see that it has sharp, strong facets, becoming of a sports watch. The helium escape valve doesn't require any special attending. Unlike, say, Omega, you don't need to screw it out before you need it to operate. And so basically, when helium gets into your watch during a saturation dive, you might be down for hours, days, maybe even weeks, but you're going to have one big decompression. And because helium gets in, helium has to get out. So when internal pressure exceeds external by 2 to 3 bar, this valve opens up to release the helium, protecting your sapphires, your seals, and the integrity of the watch. The bezel is made of titanium, but the rotating bezel is made of ceramic. Let's have a listen. It's a very well-refined 120 click action, and so the idea here is that you line it up with the minute hand, and now you have a 0 to 60 minute count up timer. And we'll do a quick lume shot so you can just see how luminescent this watch is. The whole bezel is lumed, making it more useful as a timing reference in the dark. And then the bezel pearl and the hour hand, or the minute hand I should say, they are blue, so you can easily read them relative to each other in the dark at a glance. Also note, the seconds hand is loomed. This is important. A lot of dive watches don't have this, but I think it's important to know, even in low light conditions, whether your backup dive timer is functional. Now we're going to take a look at some of the other elements going on here. You can see we have this faceted heritage design bezel and what is overwhelmingly a flat sapphire. Now the 600 meter water test rating is not the actual tested rating. To be an ISO 6425 diver, each individual watch off the production line has to be tested to 125% of the number on the dial. So you add 150 to that, and you've got 750 meters physically tested, this exact watch. So it's got water resistance to burn. Interesting. Zenith, thank you for bringing back math. 600 meters is 1,968.5 feet. So for them to make a conversion this accurate, hell, everyone in the industry should be doing this. Why not? Well, because Rolex doesn't do it and everyone copies Rolex. Zenith, you are my bros for bringing back real math. Now, the dial includes some elements that echo the exterior. You can see how the faceting of the electric yellow chaptering for the seconds, it echoes the faceting of the bezel. And then we have some star debossing that is reminiscent of the Defy Skyline models. So a couple of nods to other Zenith designs. Taking a look at the dial, you can see we have these lovely rhodium-plated applique steel indices, and then the watch does include a few subsidiary setting modes, one of which is the hacking seconds. So we'll demonstrate that right there. We'll do a date change too. Some people like to see the roll of the date change, so I will show you that. There you go, instantaneous and bang on. So hacking seconds, and then there's an intermediate position in which you can activate quick setting and a very rapid quick setting of the date. So that's how that works right there. Okay, El Primero, but not a chronograph. What do I mean by that? We'll turn around back, and we've got, this is how you know what's in your Zenith. You just look in the reference. 3620 is the name of this movement. So it's a 36,000 vibration per hour, 10 beat per second, automatic winder with a 60-hour power reserve, 27 pivot joules, hacking quickset, a tungsten rotor. The Zenith Star is actually the rotor. This is the mass. It's a tungsten mass. So we have the Zenith Star logo. And then if you look very carefully, you can also see we have a full silicon escapement there. You can't see the anchor, but both wheel and anchor are made of silicon, which reduces the need for lubricant, reduces the amount of mass in the train, and then lightly reduces the impact of magnetism. Magnetism affects the hairspring more than anything else, but you get a little bit of a benefit here. If you look very carefully, you can see that the spokes of the escape wheel are actually the Zenith Star logo. It's mechanically finished, but I can forgive that because it's a beautiful looking movement. Architecturally, it's handsome. The use of brush, polish, media blast, quite attractive. And it's got that famous double step 10 beat per second kind of cadence. You can also see something uncommon, the use of KIF shock protection with Edicron. That's cool. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.